Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo. Olaide Oyelude. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Tokwe Marco Dige. How you doing?
Yo.
Yeah, I'm feeling very yo. That's the word.
How you doing?
I'm very well. It's a very busy day. Today we're having a Realtors Hangout. This is an opportunity for those that want to make money from real estate legitimately to learn, converse with those who've done it, and get inspiration and generally have fun. Thank God it's Friday the right way, not just spending money, but knowing how to earn money. But yesterday, I was the MC for LASPA, that's Lagos State Fiscal Planning Authority. They give the permit, Fiscal Planning Permit Authority and Red and Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria Lagos chapter. The conversation is to break down the ease of building permit process so that all developers should go and get their building permits and ensure they conform with the rule, and we can bring to zero the cases of building collapse in Lagos. It was a very detailed event. All the PS in the built industry were there, and I can see the work Lagos is doing to ensure we have less building collapse. And I pray that our own part as Nigerians, we the people, we comply with the rules so that we can reduce such fatalities from building collapse.
Right.
So.
Good. Well done. Well done. How are you doing, Damola?
I'm very well, thank you. Okay, I have to gist, or to call it my banter. Yeah. So I was told that some people wanted to know how to shop the DeForce smart glasses. The brand name is DeForce, DEEFURSE. So if you go to our website, it's www.deforce.com. It's currently going through maintenance, but right on top of it, you
are paying for that advert. TVC will charge you for that.
No, you see Instagram and WhatsApp, and then you can send in your orders. And then number two, one of my mentors called me yesterday after the show. She said, somebody told her that her mentee was telling women not to get married. I said, that was not what I said, though. I only said that it's not a do or die affair. If it happens, fine. If it does not happen, fine. And then when she ended the conversation, she said, you know what, that my brother that I told you about, he's coming. I think people should have lunch. And then in my head, I'm thinking, why are my people always trying to matchmake me? Please advise me. How do I cope with this matchmaking?
Don't worry, you're single, you're hot. You'll always be matchmade.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
How are you doing,
Oh, I'm fine. I'm preparing for my wedding anniversary tomorrow.
Congratulations.
From Monday.
How many years now?
6.
Oh,
So it's going to be 6 years. And so in the last week, I decided on posting daily videos of myself and my husband. So we used to create content at some point, but parenthood happened. So we now started just archiving them for the future. And so this week I've been posting daily, flipping, somersaulting and all that. And it's been so much fun. And the second thing that happened to me was that when I was coming this morning, a policeman stopped me. And he was like, where are you going to? I said, I'm going to the office. And I said, which office? I said, please, I'm late. I'm going to TVC. And I said, you sure say they work for TVC? I said, oh, God, beg, no vex. They go your view. He said, your view? They watch them. They go. And that was just so beautiful to see that. Yeah. So I'm giving a shout out to him in case he's watching. Thank you, sir.
Better be at a beauty post too. Anyway, so don't forget our life itself is a story, and we'd like to share your own stories. Please send your real life issues to yourview@tvccommunications.tvc.tv so that we can actually get your stories and share and discuss and get people's views on it.
Well, what's your plan for the weekend? You don't have anything planned for
the kids on Sunday, they have a birthday party, which we're going for, and I'm hanging out with my cousin also on Sunday. Tomorrow, Saturday, I know I have something, but I can't remember. I don't want the person to feel bad. I can't remember, but I know I have an event. I'll find out my P, but I know I have something tomorrow, 26th. Today is a bit of a busy day for me, but I hope to go home soon. I want to watch Jago Jago again. I just want to sit down. This is going to be my 4th time about to watch it now. I need to watch it. Just there's a few things I still don't understand. And people are talking about, I didn't see that part. I want to go back again. I want to understand it again.
I need to watch too, based on I've gotten some feedback.
Yeah, I need to go and watch it. Someone's going to watch it. All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Edum, hyperinflation, low GDP per capita to end soon. Hold governors accountable for palliatives, says Tinubu. Wike orders arrest of developer after death of 2 in Abuja building collapse. APC leaders step up into Sanwo-Olu and the assembly row. Ondo government overrules Akure monarch over market closure. Presidents graduated in 1979. Chicago varsity replies Atiku. Wagner boss made mistakes, says Putin. And Nigeria ranked 11th globally in internet penetration. Okay, let me start with the major headlines. So, the Minister of Finance at the federal government has stepped up efforts to rein in inflation, increase productivity, and boost savings and investment. Vice President Kashim Shettima and the Minister of Finance has said that Nigerians should expect significant improvement in the overall economic performance. He was speaking at an event yesterday, and he was saying that ongoing government initiatives would put an end to hyperinflation and a decade-long decline in the GDP. And he spoke at the retreat yesterday, as I said earlier. He also assured that Nigeria's inflation rate that had risen by 129 basis points from 22.7% in June and will be driven to 24.08% in July, driven by the general inflation increase in prices of basic living. The minister noted that the government's agenda would create jobs, reduce poverty, control micro and macro policies, attract investors, and stabilize the exchange rate and drive economy. So these are still promises and projections by the Honorable Minister. We're hoping that indeed that in the next few weeks, Nigerians can breathe a sigh of relief, because many people are worried, especially about the dollar fluctuation. Now it's 900, I believe, over 900 to the dollar, and Nigerians are quite worried about that. Another story in the nation that we want to take very quickly.
The president was responding to Islamic clerics. They asked him that they would like to they wanted to supervise and monitor the distribution of the subsidies that have been put in place because of the removal of palliatives. They want to monitor the distribution of palliatives that have been put in place because of the removal of subsidy. And the Muslim clerics, when they asked the question, he told them that really it's not constitutional for him to be the one to be in charge of the distribution of the palliatives. He said that even if he wants to do more, it would have to be through governors and local governments. So he asked Nigerians to hold governors and local government chairmen responsible, hold them accountable, and monitor them. He also mentioned that if people reside in states and the governor is not doing well, the people should be the one to vote him out. It's not his own decision. Then he mentioned that that there will be more to come in these palliatives. There will be more for medium, micro, and small enterprises that are expecting something to get to them. And we should recollect that about 5 billion naira has been shared to all 36 states governors to be able to procure food items and fertilizers to be shared to the less privileged households and families. So that's what the money is supposed to go into. So that's what we're holding them accountable for.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. Wagner boss made mistakes, says Putin. So the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, has broken his silence over the death of the Wagner group leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin. He described the Wagner chief as a man of a difficult fate. He said he's known him since the 90s, and he has said that more investigation would be conducted to ascertain what actually happened or caused the crash that led to his death and 9 others. Yeah, that's basically it.
So Nigeria ranked 11th in global internet penetration. So this article was brought out as a result of an event that happened at the Digital Economic Complex in Abuja, where the vice chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commissions, Professor Umar Dambata, he said that Nigeria has a whopping 82% of subscribers in Africa. And he also went on to say that we're 11th in the world based on internet penetration. And out of that, we have 29% of that as internet consumption. So there are 54 countries in Africa, and Nigeria has 29% of those that use internet out of those 54 countries. And it also went on to say that we're the 7th in terms of mobile phone usage in the world. And these statistics are staggering, because sometimes I wonder if that's how exposed Nigeria is today, and looking at the things that we're able to use the internet for, the technology that we have at our disposal. And sometimes that kind of makes me worried, and I hope that our system can take advantage of this.
Okay, moving on quickly now to the Punch. Naira crumbles to 920 to the dollar. Few marketers push for fresh price hike. Falling slabs trapped us while fleeing Abuja collapsed building, says victims. Family fault, army silence. On senator's aide allegedly killed by rogue soldiers. FG faces heavy criticism over 4.4% unemployment data. FG makes 2 trillion naira taxes from Google, Facebook, foreign firms, says report. Culture minister still a copper, group alleges. And ECOWAS military actions won't yield positive results in Niger, says Russian envoy. All right, so which story? Just a quick report here from the, I think it's the National Bureau of Statistics. They're saying that Google, Netflix, Facebook, and other foreign companies operating in Nigeria have paid over 1.98 trillion in taxes to the account of the federal government in just 15 months. If you recall, earlier in 2020, it was reported that the federal government planned to tax foreign companies, foreign digital service providers offering service in Nigeria without paying taxes. So we had that issue back then, and we remember when the Honorable Minister of Information at the time had shut down Twitter. One of the reasons was because these people are not paying taxes. So now, according to this report, in 15 months, they paid at least almost 2 trillion naira into the coffers of the federal government. This was said by the order aimed to impose a tax on foreign entity with respect to certain services or digital transaction if it had significant economic presence in Nigeria. So I'm happy about that, but we're hoping that the other companies working in Nigeria who are not properly taxed, and hopefully our ministry will be able to handle that as soon as possible. Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're still looking at the papers. Punch, any more stories?
Yes, there's this headline that says, Culture Minister still a copper, group alleges. So the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria has accused the Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Musawa, of serving as a minister while undertaking the one-year mandatory National Youth Service Corps scheme. And the group is saying that the group claimed that the minister was mobilized this year and got posted to a law firm in Abuja before her appointment. And to confirm this story, the Director of Press and Public Relations at the NYSC headquarters, Eddie Megwa, confirmed to the Cable last Thursday that, yes, the minister is still a core member. And in reaction to that, a lawyer, Mr. Victor Giwa, said that the minister should be in her place of primary assignment if she's indeed serving. According to him, I'm going to quote what he said. Now, if it is true that she's serving, she's not meant to hold public service at this time. Inasmuch as she has enrolled to serve, everything she should be doing through her PPA. In fact, she ought to be in her PPA if it is true. I think this should have been spotted during the screening.
But there's,
Okay.
What do you think?
Service is not, it's not a hot topic, but service is no requirement for being a minister. Remember, a minister just has to have finished secondary school, I believe, so, and have competence within the field. So if she could defer her admission, or just pinpoint this woman, I need to interview this woman.
Can we move on to our story?
Yeah, I want, the slaying, there's a particular we've been following the story of the aide of the the late aide to the Senator Solomon Adiola, and the families of this particular man, his name is Adeniyi Salami, they are complaining about the silence they've been receiving as treatment from the military to explain how their friend and family member ended up ridden with bullets and was found close to the barracks. And they said the last interaction they had with him showed that he was in conversation with military men that were asking him for his car details. They said that the senator has discovered that the brigadier was involved and he has sent letters. They've tried to reach out to the military to give official statement concerning what is going on. Even the Punch newspaper said that they've been trying to get interview with the particular brigadier and even get information, but that the Punch is saying they didn't get any reply from the army, and that a lot of things are wrong with the approach to this issue. And the senator is also saying the same thing, that a lot of things are wrong with the fact that the army is simply being silent and doing like they don't know that they've been accused not once or twice, a few times, about being involved in challenges like this. So I think the entire Nigeria is waiting to hear what the army has to say concerning this.
Okay.
I have the story of the fallen building in Abuja. And so a two-story building in Abuja collapsed on Wednesday night, killing 2 and leaving 35 others injured. There are details about what actually happened, but I don't want to go into it. It's very graphic, and it's in the Punch newspaper. However, the FCT minister, Azubuike, went to the site of the collapsed building, and he did 2 things immediately. First, he told the permanent secretary to sort out the bills of those that were injured, and the second thing he did was to immediately order for the arrest of the developer. We are not clear on more details about this event, but those were the actions that were taken immediately that happened.
Yeah. Okay, Daily Sun, very quickly. Tinubu sends Muslim clerics for more talks with the Niger junta. IPPIS failed to remit workers 26.6 billion naira NHF in 2 years, says FMBN. Don't release my documents to Atiku, Tinubu tells Chicago University. Bloodbath in Abuja, Nasarawa, Edo, Kebbi, and Kaduna. Nigeria will strengthen ties with UK to combat insecurity, says Badaru. Era of propaganda to promote FG federal government programs over, says Malagi. Southeast Military Reps Panel seeks Kano's unconditional release. And President directs resolution of disagreements with UAE on Emirates Airline and visa issuance. I don't know, I'm just feeling this is our new Minister of Information and Orientation, Mohammed Malagi. He has said that the President's administration will not rely on propaganda to propagate government programs, that era is over for good. We were speaking at the AGM of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPP, in Abuja yesterday, and he's saying that he is against the stance, saying the stance against propaganda was in a bid to restore public confidence and trust in government and its policies. We've been saying this on this table for years, and Nigerians have lost confidence in government, and government must do everything it can to earn back the trust. And this is what the Honorable Minister of Information and Orientation is going to do. Say, you are aware of the focus of government now is how to restore the confidence of the governed in government and institutions. This time around, the process of restoring popular confidence and trust in government, and the era of propaganda is over. So they're not going to be using propaganda to propagate the works of the government. He said quite a bit of things. I think that Nigerians should read this article. So it should give you some kind of confidence in what government plans to do, especially concerning information dissemination. Let's take another story in Sun.
Yeah, let me take the story about the Muslim clerics that visited the president. These Muslim clerics, I think it's under, they had a brief meeting with the president, and after the meeting, Sheikh Bauchi spoke concerning to the correspondents, and he appreciated the fact that he had the opportunity, the entire Muslim cleric had the opportunity to meet with the president. He emphasized the ulama's commitment. I think the ulama is supposed to be like the group of Muslim clerics to a peaceful resolution in what's happening in Niger. And particularly, what they said was that they had gone to Niger, they had been able to have a meeting with the junta over there, and in the discussion, they ensured that they got listening here from the junta and that they are going to be able to serve as a peaceful means of conversation with them. So they were asking that, they acknowledged that they told the president about how the conversation went and how it was successful. And based on that conversation, they are happy to say that they will continue to have a peaceful approach towards the conversation with Niger. And they are serving, because they serve as spiritual leaders to people in Niger as well as Nigeria. So they have that relationship. And they are hoping that because they've established that they have this contact with Nigeria, that the president, being the chairman of ECOWAS, will allow them have this conversation extensively before any military thing happens within there. And he said, without harmony and peace, there is nothing that we can do. Even the dividends of democracy cannot be enjoyed where there is no harmony and peace. So,
Video on captured armored vehicle fake, says Army. The Army headquarters in Abuja has described a video. There's this video that has been going around on social media stating that there was a capture of one of the armored personnel carrier by a terrorist leader, Torji Bello, as fake and fabricated and stage managed. The article went on to also say that this same video was posted in 2021 of this same scenario. And he went on to say that, please, I urge the public to be wary of misinformation and propaganda employed by the insurgents and other criminal groups aimed at instilling fears and disrespecting the peace and security of our nation.
Yeah. Great. So President Bola Tinubu has directed that issues affecting relations with the Emirates Airline and the issuance of visas to Nigerians should be immediately resolved, emphasizing that he stands prepared to personally intervene. I'm particularly excited about this news because I've missed going to Dubai, you know. And then the president said this while he was receiving the ambassador of Ethiopia, Cuba, and UAE. And he said that we are a family with UAE, we live in separate rooms, we should always look for ways to resolve our issues on core aviation and immigration
This
matters.
separate room thing, he has used it before in a different conversation. The president and this is separate rooms. Okay, moving on now to Vanguard. Let's say very quickly, 24 banks lose 9.75 billion in Q2 as fraud rises to 277%. 2 die, many trapped, 37 rescued as Abuja Plaza collapses. Let's find a story we've not taken. Reps, no, release Kano to end insecurity in Southeast, says Reps. Nijeku, I'm managing very serious situation. I'll speak with manufacturers on reducing cement prices, says Umahi. And Governor Bello Kogi of Cross River protesters storm APC secretariat over the National Working Committee appointments. Okay, there was a story that I really wanted to, sorry about that. I have to go back to the story I took concerning the Minister of Information, because there are some things he said that really struck me, and I think it's important for Nigerians to hear. He was talking about the fact that propaganda is no more, will not be allowed in this administration. He further went on to say that he would endeavor renewed vigor and commitment to provide credible information to Nigerians at all times, which of course includes boldly and humbly acknowledging mistakes where such are made. I'm going to frame this because when things happen, sometimes we need to remind our leaders of what they said. He says, transparency is the currency that builds credibility, while authenticity is the foundation upon which lasting relationships can be built. Hello, this minister is saying the right things. So I'm going to frame those two comments, and I'll remind him, because when, God forbid, so they start using propaganda, we'll remind, this is what you said on your first, when you resumed as minister. So these are great words.
I need to take a story. It's so important. Nigerians are stranded in the UK and they are victims of visa scam. So, well,
go ahead.
I didn't know. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So this, a few people, about 15 out of 35 to 40, particularly one woman who could only get sardines and bread to eat because that's the only thing she could do without cooking. They get workers' visa and they pay a lot of money, as much as £10,000, and then they are unable to get works to do. So
we'll discuss it further because it's our hot topic later. Any other story is very clear, important? Okay, I think let's wrap up I'm going to go and find out more about this, our Minister of Information. I think I'm liking him already.
The comments
He's
exciting.
now my new guy to check. Yeah. Let's go on a break. When we return, we've got the hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So today is our Celebrity Friday, and we'd like to discuss celebrity gist. And what's hot today is Burna Boy. Burna Boy was seen saying that 90% of Nigerian and Afrobeat songs lack real-life experiences and substance. He has been widely criticized for that statement from various angles, and people are just saying he had no right to say that. But there are various parts of this conversation that is worth having, and you can join the conversation by calling us on the numbers on your screen, 081 076 41679 0902 4163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read the tweets. So as I said, there are various parts of this argument. So some are saying that it was wrong for Burna Boy to say that because he wrote to Limelight on the backs of Afrobeats, and for him to now say that people don't have, that there's no substance in what people are singing, it's very selfish of him. Others will say, well, maybe he's right in the sense that everybody's just singing about partying, women, girls, there's no real message in this music anymore, like we used to say back then. There's no real substance, that they don't have real life experiences which they are sharing. So you can look at it in different ways, but we'd like to hear your own thoughts. You can call us on the numbers on your screen. Let me come to you, Top. I know you like Burna Boy, but what are your thoughts on the comments, and how did it make you feel?
So I like Burna Boy, so I always try to find a way to defend him. I always try to see another perspective to what he said. But I think the biggest issue with his statement is the generalization. What he said is a fact. Generalizing makes it look like no. The conversation around a few, if you had said a few Nigerian Afrobeat artists sing songs about good time and have no substance, I can understand. But when you generalize like that, you generalize what was your source, where you came from, then there's no way to sugarcoat it. And he has a track record of generalizing. He has a track record of being just, let me just say my mind. And we have to be able to separate the music, which I love, from the person who might have a few challenges with how to communicate best. So in separating my love for his music and his personality, I'll say that Burna Boy really needs to work on how he makes statements, and he shouldn't cast aspersion on people who, like him, a few years ago were trying to get up in the line, And if you want to come from a place of, I am Burna Boy, now a global artist, been on Grammy stage, been on BET stage, all that stuff, and you want to give feedback to people in your industry, then help them understand the importance of singing songs that convey our true stories, not aspirational music.
Okay. Let me come to, what are your thoughts on this Burna Boy's
statement? The first thing I did was to Google music. What is music? Music is a vocal or instrumental sound, or both, combined in such a way as to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotions. Do I have to put any real-life experience in it for it to be music to people? And if it's saying that all the African songs lack, or Nigerian songs lack substance and real-life experiences, I think that's relative, because what is real-life experiences to you might be different from my own
I guess it's coming from the part of Afrobeats was something that Fela birthed, and it was something that came from his own stories and the issues he had with Nigeria, with the country, the corruption, and that people are now talking about what happened. So that's the foundation of what a lot of these people are using today. So maybe that's where it's coming from. This, and you guys don't have any experiences. We are the ones that have serious experience. I don't experience that, but he's trying to say that there's no substance. You're just singing about nothing.
Well, I think they have diversified. they have diversified into, and they have made Afrobeats, even that genre, sound better than it used to be. So we hear a lot of artists singing about depression, anxiety, how they grew up from nothing to something. So real life experiences differ.
Right.
So if you're looking for something deeper, maybe you should look for an artist that sings, you know, deep songs.
Let me come to you, Toby. What are your thoughts on Burna Boy's comments?
His comments are, I think that he has the freedom to say what he wants to say. I mean, freedom of expression is standard, but freedom after expression, we don't know, because people will take on that statement that you've made and now try to color it and then give meanings to what they say or what you've said. But one thing I want to highlight is that songs of old, I mean, Nigerian veterans also, when they, I mean, so King Sunny Ade, Onyeka Onwenu, we would remember their songs today and see the content. And even when we're in parties today, when they play those songs, you'll be like, this one is song. But now it seems like we're just winging it. We're just having a feel of, okay, a lot of things combined together. I would give credit, however, such that Nigerian artists today are doing well, especially for songs that maybe have their verses in a local dialect or their choruses in local dialects. You see that they're even relatable. Sometimes you see foreigners sing the songs and you're like, do you even know what you're singing? But because it sounds great to the ears, it sounds pleasant, people just want to associate with that. And then I was also going to say that our songs today are characterized by vulgar words, nudity, and you can't even say you want to watch a musical video in front of a child. Now you go be embarrassed. You'll be embarrassed on the behalf of the entire population, right? But I think that if we're able to get that right, having the mix between the right kind of music, the content, and what is being displayed, I think Nigerians would be more receptive to songs.
Let me borrow from this gentleman Motolani Alake from his tweets, because he's saying that Burna Boy is being very selfish. And the reason why he said that, let me even read exactly what he said. The world is watching, and your words can make or break the movement. There's a current movement where Afrobeat is giving the attention hip-hop has globally, right? He's saying that your words can make or break that movement. The greats don't shut down the door behind them. You also don't need to tear a building down to stand out, especially when you're going to tear the building down with lies, deceit, misinformation, and perhaps ignorance. So what he's saying is that, listen, we are in a very unique time where the world knows Afrobeats. You hear it in Haiti, you hear it in Brazil, you hear it in Austria, you hear it in Australia, you hear it in India. Like so, and you are one of the poster boys for this movement. So everything you say at this time can make or break this entire industry. So as much as you might make sense that some of these songs are, maybe they don't have substance. An example, just like Demola said, what is substance to you might be music to me, or what is emptiness to you might be music to me. So Burna Boy maybe also lacks the understanding of the responsibility that he has, because there are a few of them, him, Whiskey, where's the other guy, Davido, and the other, you know, there's just a few of them that are on the global stage, and even the other ladies too.
No, we need to give credit. Even though the Davido and Whiskey and Burna Boy might be on the global stage, Davido has given a whole lot to this industry. He has done a lot to lift other people, create platforms for other people in a way that Wizkid or Burna Boy haven't done in that same way, the way Davido has done it. But like I said, the feedback might be necessary. It might be necessary because maybe he's listening to our songs and he's wondering, this is, we fought tooth and nail to get here. Don't come and make them see us as if we have nothing to offer. Maybe it is the way it was being said.
Or
maybe
to whom it was said to.
To whom it was said, how it was said, generalizing that all was wrong. 90% is not a fact. Because people still say that there's this particular guy, Soso, that sang this Soso. The guy is always talking about his depression. He's talking about how to get out of that emotional state. And it's trending. So it's not all, it's not like there's not 10%. There are many people still singing.
Let me take this call
realities.
from Kenneth. Good morning, Kenneth. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, madam.
You're live.
Yeah, my first time to talk.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not a follower of secular song, but I think maybe we should look at this.
I need volume. I have to see it on national TV.
He's not a follower of secular songs, but he's thinking something that we did not hear.
Okay, I think we lost that caller. All right, so...
But she's taking us to a very, very solid part, which is taking it away from what Burna Boy said and discussing our music industry or looking at the fact that our music, the words of our music, we cringe when our children sing it because they sing it with innocence. They don't understand the meaning of the songs. We watch the videos and we cannot, dare not. Like when a new person comes to my house, I read the Riot Act. We don't watch this channel. All these are our music channels. I don't watch it in my house. It is not allowed. We don't do this. And because I don't want them exposed to the level of nudity that we show as a norm, the over-commercialization of music to the point where people don't bother writing anymore. They just get high and vibe. As in, like, I'm just vibing.
Style.
And in the song, they're talking about how, I just did studio, I just high, I can't the vibe, and now, as in, like, so a new generation of artists realize that they don't need to do much to blow.
Yes.
You just need to be high and vibe. And
All right,
that
let me
is
go on a
wrong.
quick break. When we come back, we continue our conversation and take a few calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm told we have Josie waiting on the line. Thanks for calling, Josie.
Yeah, thanks.
You're live.
Yeah, thanks. I'm a favorite of your program.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello,
we
can you hear me?
It's breaking,
Yeah,
but
I
we'll
said-
try.
Yeah, I like the program so much,
Thank
and
you.
especially this topic you're discussing because it relates to me. I'm a songwriter myself.
Okay.
I'm a performer. I'm a musician. I had 1 or 2 videos on air, but there have been 1 or 2 issues why everything is on the low like right now. But pertaining to what Burna Boy said, I agree with him almost 100%. The truth is, if you look at all the songs right now, it's just like a circulation. Everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You hear, to me, I categorize them as kids to me. Maybe because I'm 46. We know what music was like way back when we were treating issues, talking about, you know, what's happening in the society, how to change things. Baba Fela himself, who started Afrobeat, look at the songs. They're still applicable to today. But when you hear all these songs right now, you hear them talking about women, talking about luxury, talking about cars, like that's all to life, which is all a scam. So you see me for my children, I always stop them from watching TV and sometimes don't watch. I even blame the media, especially TV stations too, showing all those songs, you know, nudity and all that. It's not fair. Please.
Thank you very much, Josie. See, Josie has opened an important conversation for us because the truth is that as much as we like to criticize, because that's the first thing we do, how can he talk like that? He's selfish. Because I was going to actually read from Mutolani Alake. It says that the entire tenet of Afrobeat is mostly built on delivery, great production, enjoyability, and lamba. It doesn't have to make sense. So now I get that, you know, we just want to dance. Same way Nigerians just want to blow, just be rich. But nobody wants to see the substance of how you got to that wealth. We don't really care. We just want to just sing the song. At least we have international recognition. Now we are global. Everybody knows us. And so even though we are global, even though now that Afrobeat is like around the world, does she therefore negate the need to actually make these songs have substance? So sometimes we can criticize Burna Boy, but if we unpack what he said, maybe if he had said it properly, in a more constructive way, we can understand what he's trying to say here. Because that was just saying. He's a songwriter, 47 years old, maybe he hasn't blown. He has great songs. And he said, listen, there's meat, but my meat will not blow because some guy will be vibing in the studio and will just blow. So how do we therefore, based on what Burna Boy said, bring it back to substance?
So I think that, like I said, the biggest issue with what Burna Boy said was generalizing 90%, because you really did not do a census to know the number of real songs. We still have real songs. We have Johnny Drill today. And we have many people that are in that alternate space, that their songs are vibeable. We all dance to Morayo's favorite song at one point in time was, "Who's Your Guy?" And she will start shouting. But what's that song? It's a real life experience. The lyrics are good. And it's talking about, there are many people that are doing that right here. So a few of them get to, you know, they say you get the leadership that you desire. People get what they desire. People want unseriousness because unseriousness blow. People want nasty songs because nasty songs blow. So why would you blame an artist that realized that I'm singing good songs since? What was this guy's name?
Olomi.
No, Olomi, where is he? But this other guy, there's a particular guy that is an amazing guy, Martins, that was doing Makosa kind of song. It was in MTN Project Fame. I know that I'll get the name. He has like a bow leg. And he was singing love song in Project Fame. Came outside, sang love song once or twice. But as the guy threw in, the Chika is one of them. There's an Nyanya. Nyanya was doing love song. Nothing happened. Praise was still doing love song. He did not. You have to get into, when you feel you want to get into mainstream, you will give mainstream what they want. And it seems mainstream wants you to sing about being wealthy even if you have no money. You see Nigerian artists, they'll be talking about flying private jet. They don't have it. Talk about having plenty girls. Talk about all of those things. Yeah. Just so that they can look like it, and then the song blows.
Okay, let me take Austin from Accra, Ghana. Thanks for calling, Austin. You're live.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes. I am a songwriter and a scriptwriter myself. Yes, thank you. Yes. I want to say what Burna Boy has said is true.
You're listening to the TV. Listen to us.
Yes, because it has been on our beat and our trend. Not our lens.
Okay, so Austin is listening to himself on TV, so it's hard for him to communicate with us. But yes, anybody wants to jump in? Let me take a few comments from, there's a person that said, Dremo Drizzy also agrees with Burna Boy. He says, still the best rapper to ever do it, talent is never enough, sadly. I get where Burna Boy is coming from. Some of these cats have zero substance, but 100% marketing. I'm happy for you guys who, but just stay humble, I beg. We know the talented ones, but I go explain later. So there are people who are quite talented, even in the movie industries. Someone will say, oh, I have some great movies, but I don't have the support. There's some people that will do a silly movie, but they have platform for marketing. And this movie, you know what is it? And they have done the market, they have scream. But these movies are going global. They are doing in Canada, they're having, premieres in the UK, premieres around the world. And you are that did proper movie that has serious script writing. You are thinking, you don't have that. So when it goes to what do we therefore do? How do we take this feedback from Burna Boy, where we can marry real content with also the demands of we want this nice light-headed music and light-headed movies?
I think Burna Boy has to be the champion of this movement. Since he's the one complaining that there's no substance, then he should champion the movement towards ensuring that Nigerian artists put a lot of substance in their songs. But he is also guilty when he said, I need to go and jayo. He was also promoting, the culture of drugs and getting drunk. But then one thing I've noticed with Nigerian celebrities, they don't even want to take that responsibility. They don't want to, they don't see themselves as a role model. A lot of them have come out to say, don't use me as your role model. Go and look for a role model for your children. I'm going to do myself. I'm just going to be by myself. But that needs to change. They need to start understanding that they are ambassadors for social culture, social norms, and what they do directly affects how
let me take
people
this
react.
Call from Bukola. Thanks for calling, Bukola.
Yeah, good morning.
You're live.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, Morayo, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, you ladies are actually doing a great job there.
Thank you.
I actually can't do without just putting my own perspective into this whole thing. Burna Boy, of course, yes, we know he has represented the country, even the Afrobeat at the highest level, getting a Grammy and all of that. But, you know, I am always even scared of letting my kids, my children, listen to his videos, and to see his videos, rather, or listen to his music because of the content and what he projects. I've seen his videos where he smokes weed. I've seen his videos where he takes drink as a normal thing, and they are not things that you should expose the kids to. Of course, they love him passionately, but I don't think he's in the right position to castigate or probably to tell people what is just.
Oh, Bukola, I was enjoying that. You wanted to jump in, Toby?
Yes. Oyedamola, what you said just resonated with me. And I think that there are people who are blown on this journey with singing good content. So I remember someone like Timi Dakolo when he was speaking, when Tope was speaking. And I said, so people that are blown, that have good content, what are they doing to continue the narrative to the next generation? Are they just saying, I've blown, no, you know, like what you said, but they are maybe bringing up programs, trainings to ensure that this legacy of good content that I've started would be passed on, right? And then the other thing I was also going to say was that outsource your weaknesses. So there are people that are good at singing, but they don't know how to write songs. But the culture in Nigeria may just be that once I sing it, I must be the one to write it, because you don't want to maybe pay somebody else, and then maybe you don't want to give that credit to somebody else. So there's this culture about people saying that you get all you can all you get, and sit on the can. But I see that with this conversation, it is important that we are able to spread our wings as wide as possible so that we get the best out of music.
When you're talking, when you said Timi Dakolo, I was thinking to myself that, who therefore trained Timi Dakolo? The truth is that, who is to blame in all this? We, the people, we are the consumers. Yes. Who is demanding light-headed, airhead music? Who is demanding just the beat? We are buying it. How many of us have actually gone to buy content, like proper lyrics, where you're like, oh my goodness, this one, I must give this one my platform. How many of us have money and say, you know what, my own record label would only project songs like Timi Dakolo's songs? How many people? They want to make quick money. So we're the people also. So the truth is that the songs we are saying is a reflection of who we are.
So we must celebrate, what's his name? The guy that gave Johnny Drill a platform.
Yeah.
Don Jazzy. We must celebrate Don Jazzy, because Don Jazzy it takes in everyone that is talented, that he feels you are talented, it gives you a platform. Because the only reason Johnny Drill is able to even make small noise right now is because he has a Don Jazzy pushing a song. Uncle Amen, that sang Amen song that you just mentioned his name. Timi Dakolo, yes, we can't put responsibilities on him to lift, because the guy is managing to always because of his values, he can't go and do those other kind of alternate songs. So maybe when he's fully established, he can then create a record label, but he might not have the skill.
Asha has gone and blow in France. He has songs, like even till now, I don't even think she's even in Nigeria.
Well, she's not.
Because her song, because Nigerians, yes, she had that one album, which after they had launched it in France and everybody's thinking, they now brought it to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like, how many of us are really
ready to consume
content? Exactly. So, Burna Boy, who is speaking, yes, the truth is that he has a point, but we must also understand that there's a lacuna in how we can ensure that good music is also given the platform. Let me go on a break. When we come back, we try to wrap up on this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So while we're discussing it, my producer asked a question, said that, can Timi Dakolo fill up a stadium? We just had Ashake filled up over 20,000 in the UK, I believe. And we're saying to ourselves, so can Timi Dakolo, who has great lyrical content, can he fill up that kind of stadium? And then if we look at that, it goes back to why do we buy music? Is it because of the feel good or what the lyrics is communicating to us? There are different kinds of songs, even abroad. They have different genres. We have the country music, we have the pop music, we have the hip hop, rhythm, everything. And each of them have been able to grow their audiences. And they individually can fill up their stadiums. In Nigeria, how many genres can fill up a stadium as Afrobeats is doing today? So whose responsibility, therefore, is to see the importance of these songs and say, you know what, if I love Timi Dakolo, and many of us do, but we do now buy his ticket and fill up a stadium, an O2 Arena in the UK, will we do that? That's the question.
But I think he actually did a chorus leader just very recently. It was, what did your person use for his event? Terra Culture. It was Terra Culture. So he did not use, but I think that it's a step in the right direction. There's something I've discussed with any major artists or major platform builders in the music industry. I tell them that Nigeria, we're very mono in our dimension. Nigeria is just one. Akpala music is where? Where is it? Where is Akpala? Akpala is, where is Fuji in the true sense of it? We just do.
Which is
it should be
like
on a bigger scale.
Fuji has his own audience.
So on a bigger scale, are we shutting down the stadium the way we should? If you go to the
because Fuji artists have not had the confidence to do an O2 Arena concert. If they
but in conferences, when you go abroad, you will see the person that is singing rock and roll totally different from the person those that are doing country music, totally different from blues. Everybody is doing their own. Everybody can blow. Adele will never join you in jumping around on the stage. That's not her style. Yeah. Till tomorrow, Alicia Keys is slow. John Legend, slow music. That's what they do. And they have blown in that they are slow music. It did not stop Cardi B from singing whatever she wants to see and shaking everything she can shake on stage. It didn't, so everybody can do their own thing because the industry is big enough. Our industry is not that big. And we're not as ripe as other countries. So we should not compare ourselves unfairly. Let us grow. Let those that like good music continue to take good music. Let's not castigate. Let's make it rewarding for someone to sing good music in Nigeria. Yeah. And so far, we haven't made it very rewarding for someone to say, I want to sing clean music. Even comedians. How many comedians that are doing clean comedy are able to blow like that? Those that are doing bad comedy and lewd and their comedy is content. They tend to seem to have a lot more following.
Caller. Olawale, thanks for calling. You're live.
Well, I thank you very much. I feel like what Burna Boy said is true to some extent because most of the Nigerian musicians they are singing business songs without meaning. But I also feel like the listeners are also at fault. When you listen to somebody like and you're actually
network is bad.
Network is really bad. I always like to, when we have this kind of conversations, I always like it to link it with the people because sometimes it's important for us to see.
Yes.
You know how they say consume Nigerian products. Let's buy Nigerian, let's support our business. But because we have the capacity and ability to buy a better or maybe an international or foreign option, I'd rather choose that. So we are not loyal to the Nigerian brand. The same way that, okay, this one person, this Afrobeat, so this one is hip now, I'll just align. I might like a Timi Dakolo song. I might like a jazz. I might like a love song. But I will like it, but I'll probably not use my money to go and buy it or download it or go and do the extra. I'll just focus on this Afrobeat because I do not understand the importance that if I buy from a Timi Dakolo, if I buy from this love song, I'm also building that industry. Whoa, we don't care. Our own is everybody's doing Afrobeats and I'll line up again. Is that monolithic approach that you talked about earlier? So we also must understand it's important for us to help these various genres to grow in our country.
It's our own part.
And also the world is becoming more perverse, such that, and sometimes I think that who is to be blamed? Is it the signs of the end time? I mean,
you are taking us back to what they are showing, the graphics of the music videos, right?
And even the content too, even what they say.
If you listen to all those old songs, all those Salawa Beni, even sexual, If you listen to what they are saying in the songs, it is not exactly clean. It's not clean.
It's always
just
been...
that there's always been that there. We just need to find balance and open up the industry more.
I think quality of music and marketing helps to push these secular songs further. Do you understand? So you talked about Don Jazzy. Don Jazzy has a great platform, such that any artist that goes on his platform blows. So I think more music executives should invest in actually blowing these kind of songs. That's the ones with great substance, because you find out that they don't have a lot of sponsorship, they don't have marketing budgets. So it's the hype. Nigerians love hype. Once you can hype something, then they will keep into it. Take, for example, the story of Hilda Bassi. So people were complaining that Nigerians did not support the other Guinness World Record holders. But there's a difference in packaging. It's not that they haven't done something good, but Hilda has packaged herself in a very nice, professional manner, exactly that everybody wants to associate with. But then the other person has
just doing the work.
Too much. So I think they should start putting extra work.
I really like that angle you went, but let me take a call from Hassan. Thanks for calling, Hassan. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think what Burna Boy is just trying to say is that very easily now, people just go on stage, like, just go to you, talk about just the time, should talk more about, you should give more content, like, what he's trying to say that. People just go to the studio and just say how you got this money and you're spending money. You understand? It's like, they're not really sending a real message out there. It's not easy like that. You understand? But you're a young player yourself,
Thank you so much, Hassan. The network is really bad. I hope our viewers heard you, because we didn't hear you properly on the set.
Antieni sent a message. He said, music is a form of art. Other artists should try not to criticize each other in public. When you point a finger at someone, the other four are pointing back at you. My brother Femi Kuti says, music is the only art form you can't touch but touches you. So you sort of alluded to that point earlier, that music is art. You will see some people, they'll put a dot on white paper and they'll say this is art, and somebody will be like, oh, this is worth millions. Yes. And somebody else is looking and say that, what's there? So that's the way music is.
Let me go to the packaging thing that Mola said earlier, because I think that's another feedback we can take from this conversation, in the sense that who is packaging all these non-Afrobeats genres, all the other genres that we have we don't have enough packaging for them. Who are the investors? You know, we have money, somebody blows today. You want to blow, now you get real estate, okay, that's your own area. But somebody gets money today and they might just buy a mansion somewhere, go to Dubai, travel the world and go on a cruise ship and live their life, forgetting that the Nigerian industry is so ripe. There's so many opportunities. There's money to be made. Like, people can, there's an opportunity within the music industry itself, such that you can invest in, okay, my own is, I'm going to be the record label for love songs. Anybody who is singing love songs, I'm the wealthy man who is backing you up with funds. We're not seeing this money. So they keep saying there's money on the streets of Nigeria, but we all just run away and say, Nigeria is bad. But you see, these are opportunities. If you have small money, if you say, no, I'm going to be investing in good content. All the team that that exist in this country, I want to find them up, mop them up, and push them out there. That is money. That's money on the streets of Nigeria doing nothing. So there's available genre, even gospel music.
There's this guy.
Gospel music is now going on.
Yes.
We have
music.
Pastor Jerry called
Chris
he pushed. And we see quite a number of them. So we need more of those kinds of people to pushing various genres out there.
And then another angle to this is that for the artists, especially for those that sing good content, some of them may say that I've released good content. And they don't go the whole 9 yards. But you hear about secular artists that would start their journey by saying, I beg, let me just listen to this CD. Help me. But we're not, I think we leave a lot sometimes to faith and chance and to God, that God would, in his own perfect time, we have to take that step ourselves. And it's not just in music. Even in our businesses also, we have to look out for those that would actually help us to blow.
Let's give you comments on social media so that we can
YouTube. I said, even movies, how many Monzayon films have broken cinema records?
On YouTube,
Surah says, So, he said, Corey Michael says, MI have the need for himself.
Wait, pause. Mount Zion for a second. If RCCG, what's the other one? Winners. The Kubuyi.
Yes. At least those...
all the major churches
decide to
say, you know what, we're going to reserve funds and support Mount Zion. You see, Mount Zion will be where it is.
Do a better quality.
I'm saying that
Mount Zion has improved.
They've been growing,
Mount
but they've not broken any cinema record, which is what we're saying.
YouTube. I mean, the Bamidele, the son, he's doing amazing work on YouTube, and we love his movies.
I watch.
But we still need, because the same we watch all this Overcome, all these faith-based movies on Netflix. So if these are major churches, say, you know what, there's an opportunity here, all put money together. We need people to fund these various genres, to push it out, because there is money on this. Well, let's take a comment.
Somebody else says South Sultan had of blessed memory had substance in all of his songs.
Absolutely.
Then somebody said we should ask Burna Boy which substance his own song has as well. Then he said, how do people choose what to invest into? I think it's a question we should ask ourselves, because Nigerians do bandwagon. We follow what we think is trending, but it wouldn't trend if somebody did not chart that path. So sometimes we need to take that, take the bull by the horn and chart the course of this. Morayo has shared some ideas right now. You're watching, see the opportunity, go and get those artists now, boost their platform, and you're making money.
Let me take this call. Victor, thanks for calling, Victor. We're going to be wrapping up very soon.
Yeah.
Victor, you're live.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, Peter, I do apologize. Go ahead.
Peter, not Peter.
Go ahead, please.
Yes. As we said earlier, music is an art. You can't have 100%. What Burna Boy calls something deep might not be deep for another person. Even his own song, to me, is not deep. So even sometimes I even wonder, how did he get his Grammy? What does he sing? He sings rubbish, you know? People have different views. We spoke earlier about the Chibita Polo. Chibita Polo, fantastic.
Yeah.
Some people might not seem fantastic like that. We'll say, okay, Nigeria will fill the O2 Arena. A Chibita Polo might also fill the France Arena. Because different cultures have what they accept and what they love. It's not every country in the world that would also like to take a Davido song or a Wizkid song. Somebody might like Asha more. A particular country might love Asha more than the Burna Boy. Like, just a very good example in Nigeria. If you go to the east, there is more of this guy, what's his name, Kino, Zoro. But in this part of Nigeria, we don't really listen to them like that. So art is based on the people around it. A lot of times, not so to speak about talking down someone else's work.
Thank you very much, Peter. Let me take a few comments. I don't know if you guys have one. I have one from one of my bros from Adaba FM, Monika Ola. Said, Auntie Mo, calm down now. My husband said you have taken the matter personal, that you should calm down. Okay, I have calmed down. I think I have another comment here. Burna Boy is merely advising other artists to be mindful that the times have changed, because we are now able to contest and be heard in international platforms. So content would go a long way to such listeners. That's from my brother Shegun Akabasha. Go ahead.
Okay, so now another angle to this that I'm probably thinking about, for Anashake to build in the UK is okay, but if a Nathaniel Bassi says that he wants to build,
shut it down.
You're right.
we'll start revolting, saying that Shebi is a Christian. He shouldn't. But the investors we're speaking about would also want to expect returns on their investments.
So wait, you see, how did Nathaniel Bassey blow? Somebody give him a platform. RCCG gave him a platform where he grew. Sienna was her name. Sinach. She also got a platform. So we need to bring more of these guys. And there's so many of them.
The Mesichin one, all of those guys, they are under a particular Easy Music record. And that guy actually deliberately is a platform just for Christian gospel music. And he's making his money. He has lots of artists on him. So there's opportunity for different genres to move.
We have to wrap up, unfortunately.
We pay for it.
Let me take our final caller, then we'll wrap up, because we have one more topic we must deal with.
Yes, so we need to do that one.
I think it's Kelechi from Shasha. Thanks for calling, Kelechi.
also listen to yourself, please.
Go ahead, Kelechi.
Can you hear me?
Your usual caller now, you know, should reduce the TV. Go ahead.
Okay. See, I understand something in Nigeria. We celebrate criticism. Can you hear me very well?
Very clearly.
Okay, I understand something in Nigeria. We celebrate criticism and the critic very, very well. But we don't celebrate the solution. Nobody cares about the solution. The last time I checked, I said Nigerian employers Nigerian graduates are unemployable. The last time I checked, he didn't give any solution to that. Now, Burna Boy has said his own. We are celebrating it. Demola has concluded it. If Afrobeat stuffs are not the lack substance, he should lead the movement of getting it better. That is just my stand. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kelechi. Again, it wasn't very clear.
We talk about the problems. We don't always give solutions. So he was saying that the person that is complaining, that's Burna Boy, should lead.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We have to wrap up. I think, as I said earlier, you know, what Burna Boy said, there are two sides. Some agree with him, some disagree with him. But I think in everything that's been said, let's see the feedback. I agree that he shouldn't be selfish. He should understand that this is a time, actually, Nigerians, Afrobeat is on the global stage. So we should be circumspect in how we speak and what we say and where we say it. However, for those of us who are Nigerians, we can see it as feedback, the Nigerian artists see it as feedback to ensure that music today should have more content, and we should push for other genres to get that limelight so that we can actually support music across board. So music that has substance will also have a platform to shine. Let's go on a break. When we come back, there's another hot topic which I think is worth talking about. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So moving on to our next topic. According to reports, I think Tokwe also read it earlier during the paper review, many Nigerians are reportedly battling with joblessness, destitution in the United Kingdom after emptying their savings to pay agents. For who promised them unemployment with skilled worker visas. A lady left Nigeria in search of greener pastures with the assurance of getting jobs in the UK, as promised by her agents, but the story turned out to be ugly on her arrival. So that's our conversation today, because the truth is that many Nigerians are leaving the country in droves, and some of them are extremely successful. Others are having serious challenges in settling down, and while others were totally scammed. And the one we're talking about today is in that third category of those who were scammed. And it goes back to the We the People. Please call us on 081-076-41679, 0902-4163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. I know a lady had reached out to me some time ago. I can't remember. I had sent her contact to the producers. She actually helps Nigerians when they arrive in the UK to settle down. You know, her job is just to help you to get adjusted. And I know that this message, the reports we're reading came from a lady who actually was in charge of a soup kitchen. And she was saying that about 15 out of the 35 to 40 who come had this skilled workers visa, and they were scammed. They came with the visas. Unfortunately, they didn't get a job as promised. And now they're having to come to her for food, and she has to feed them breakfast every single day. And one of the one of those also one of the people that were in the soup kitchen also complained that she had to pay over £10,000. Unfortunately, she got to the UK, and everything she was promised didn't happen. And it goes back to we the people, because one thing, yes, scamming ourselves. So Nigerians are trying to leave the economic hardship they are facing, and then they sell everything they have. And you, Nigerian, is scamming your own people as they're going to the UK. Like, why are we like this?
So let's establish the job scam.
Yes.
UK has created a platform that allows Nigerians to apply for a skilled working visa. They tend to do nursing assistants, healthcare, within the healthcare space. And when they get that visa, it costs money. Not supposed to be a very expensive thing, but in Nigeria right now, it's very expensive. it is with the expectation that when they arrive in the UK, they will do that specific kind of job. That's the only job they are allowed to do. Yeah. They can't do any other work. And there must be hours for them to work. When they get in there, they are hoping that when they do the work, they're able to recover the money it cost them to go there. So now we're discovering that a lot of Nigerians got that visa, got there, and there is no work waiting for them. The particular woman that paid £10,000 specifically could only work for 12 hours in 1 week. That's not enough to even cover any bill. £10,000 to get the visa. Now she's going to Food Kitchen to get the work. So that's the problem. We, the people, scamming each other, taking advantage of the vulnerable people that are trying to get a living abroad. It's not a bad thing. It's just that we should be aware of what the problem is.
Toby.
Wow. This story is quite unfortunate, and many Nigerians have this experience. And one of the things that came to my mind was that for you to have gathered £10,000 in Nigeria and paid, which information didn't you want to read or find out about? A lot of Nigerians do not. Some Nigerians do not like to go through the extra step to ensure that they cross their T's and dot their I's. We believe that money answers, you know.
Hey, you're very correct. The reason why I'm feeling you, because I say it a lot on this show. Once I pay you money, sort it out.
Yes,
even to apply for a job, you don't go to their website. Morayo, is TVC hiring? And no, they don't even ask me. You just expect me to send my CV, my daughter to you. I'm just supposed to receive your daughter and give her a job. So we don't want to go to the process. Go online and check.
Morayo,
just give somebody the money.
While that is very valid, honestly, that your point is very, very valid.
Yes.
In this case, that wasn't it. In this case, this person was scammed. They read everything, got the information. They got there with the decision that they were going to work. The person did not ensure that there was an opening. I have someone in the UK, a fan of your view, who runs like 6 to 7 care homes. And I saw her in the UK. And I have someone that is trying to get there. And she said, Tokwe, I cannot apply for someone to come because I don't have the hours the person needs to work. That there are many people stranded right now that I could have applied for you to come and then I'll collect your money, you will show up, but I don't have work to give you. And then you are stranded looking for how to work and pay your bills and I don't have accommodation for you. So that is an honest Nigerian. I saw that since last year. She said, everybody I have now, people have been working with her for 10 years. No, I can't, there's nobody that is going. And unless I open a new facility, I can't employ anybody. So she's not making it a racket. The issue is Nigerians made it a racket. They scammed someone. It's not about reading. It's not about going through the process. It's that somebody manipulated you to make you vulnerable when you get it because of the money.
So you're absolutely right. But there are, just like you said, there are cases where people don't pay enough due diligence to what they need to do. So you're right. So they're both correct.
Yes. Okay. So I also do think that at some point you would find, because, I mean, check the website, check all those things somewhere. And then a lot of people take the gut feeling in their mind as, I've paid and that's it. Somehow you still have an inkling in your mind, but sometimes you say, I've paid this person, that's it. And then the second thing I was also going to say is that the grass isn't always green on the other side. You probably, for a lot of people that travel, I see that they're relocating and they sell everything that they have. They literally shut down everything they have in Nigeria to start a new life. But at the end of the day, when you get there, what are the things you go through? What are the experiences that you have? A lot of people need to find out. And selling everything you have, I mean, you know, for some people, they even travel and they don't even tell the people around them they are traveling. They've gotten there. They will not say...
Some people have shut down and sold everything and they've been successful. So the reason why I can sell my house, sell everything is because I always have an uncle who did exactly the same thing. He got there, maybe walked the streets for a few years, and then now he has it. So I've seen that success story where, you know what, let me just shut down Nigeria and move on. So, but let me come to you, Damola.
Okay, my own worry in all of this is, why are people moving? I think until we begin to resolve the economic issues in our country, we would still keep experiencing this massive emigration, and people will keep getting scammed in the cause of it, because people are going through a lot. It's okay to say, before now, I used to think, what are you going to look for abroad that you cannot do here? But when I heard people's stories, people are really going through a lot. People sell their children just to feed. People have resorted to kidnapping. Some people even sell their kidneys just to survive. So I think I'm really, really looking forward to the empowerment programs that this administration has for the youth.
We'll come to that because we've had this conversation.
That's the root cause, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't want us to focus on the root cause because there's so many. We've had this conversation several times on this show also, but today's focus is really this situation our people are facing. There's plenty of reasons. That brings the tie wrapper where we've discussed it several times. But our focus today now is why Nigerians are scamming each other, number one. And this issue you talk about racketeering, where people are actually being overwhelmed. Nigerians are being overwhelmed with the amount of people coming in at the time, and they're not able to settle in. But we're going to go on a quick break, I think. When we come back, is a call? Good morning, Mr. Boyede. We'll come back to you.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
here now. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Boyede.
There's one thing I want to tell Nigerians about the situation of things. Most people that have traveled abroad, they do it because of comparison.
Because of what? Comparison.
They do it, yes. My cousins are there, my families are there. What am I going to be doing in Nigeria? In the next 10 years, and people even calculate their lifetime, the next 5, 10 years, what will those people look like? What will I look like when they come back in Nigeria? I could remember there was a time I wanted to travel to UK. So my mom now connected me to a man in UK, which they told me probably
I really wanted to hear that story. He was listening to himself. All right, so, I mean, going back to what Damola said, what you said is very critical on why are they immigrating. But that's the conversation I said. We've said it so much, and we'll continue to discuss it. However, I really want us to harp on how we can actually be our neighbors' keepers. How we can actually understand that those who have immigrated, you've now arrived. As a Nigerian, I should have a responsibility to helping you out.
For you.
As a Nigerian, I should have some kind of, I should feel the need to ensure that you are settled. So the issue of jobs, what are we doing to ensure that Nigerians who move over there are not stranded like many of these guys are going to the soup kitchen and looking for their daily needs?
So, when there's a caller that called in the last segment and was talking about the fact that we talk about the problem, we're not highlighting the solutions. Yeah. The truth is, it's been there over and over again. So people have said it, that if you want to go, especially to the UK, if you want to go to the UK and you're not a doctor or a nurse, if you're not a doctor, you're not a nurse, and you're not going for your master's degree, don't bother. Many people go for this, they call it COS, which is like a skilled, like you're assisting elderly healthcare, but they say it's not the best way to travel.
Certificate of sponsorship.
Certificate of that it's not the best way to travel because it leaves people stranded, especially if you're not having to shut down everything you have here in order to go there. It's not the best way. That if you can afford to pay that kind of money for the certificate of sponsorship, then just go and spend the next 3 years getting a nursing degree, so that when you want to go, like invest 3 years, plan, so that you will have something substantial that will be useful for you to add to that economy when you go there, and you won't be stranded when you get there.
Let me take this call from Larry. Why are you calling from London? You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
And the guest. Yeah, long time. Yes, I will tell you the reason why people want to get out from Nigeria. Number one, security. There's no security in that country. The roads, no lights, no hospital, nothing working. I won't lie to you. Like me, I've been here for over 30 years in UK. And I can, on the government website here, I can go and check my pension, how much I will get, when I'm entitled to get my pension. There's a travel card here, they call that postal card. I'm over 60 now, and I was given freely. And that cost, if I want to top it up, it costs $325 to top it up every month. And I can travel to anywhere. Free bus, underground. They write to me like every 2 years that you have to come for your medical test. And you know, there's everything here that will make you happy, that will make you relax. That if anything happens to you, you will get your entitlement. But in Nigeria, people working for 40, 50 years, 30 years, hardly before they can get their little pension. Peanuts. That's why people are moving away. The only people that enjoy in Nigeria, the politicians. It's not good.
You know, I've heard this narrative so many times. It's like
you know, when she went there, I didn't want her to go there because it would distract the conversation.
Yeah.
It would change the conversation. But in addressing this, if the enjoyment you are enjoying took people sweat, blood,
hundreds of
years to fight for that what you're enjoying. If all of them had gone to the greener pastures, you wouldn't have what you're enjoying.
You know,
because the best hands that we have that can fight, that would confront the civil service, that will stay in civil service and they will not bend to corruption, that would be shouting on social media, you Japa.
Yes.
So who will make it better?
You know, I'll come to you in a second. Also, in addition to add to that, I was taking somebody yesterday. Someone was complaining the fact that the government had demolished certain places, you know, that other people have left. And I was thought to myself, my village is Dosumu. I wasn't there when government probably demolished Dosumu gazillions of years ago and cleared the place. Now people have come in and they turned into a city that is today. Some of us were not there when they were clearing Lekki. Lekki was never like that.
Absolutely.
We are all now buying houses. I live in Lekki. That place, some of them have to claim land. Some families have grandchildren who are today, they are disgruntled because you took land from their fathers, maybe you didn't compensate them properly. But many of us have bought land. We're not part of that process that developed land like you. We're now buying land. Somebody had to sacrifice everything for you to have land in Lekki today. So somebody must build something. And that's why I don't want to go to why they are leaving, because we can break it into different parts of this conversation. Right. So there's always a time to, no doubt. We have our politicians have totally, in the past years, have derailed the progression of this country. No doubt about that. You have gone 30 years. No doubt about it. You are right in a lot of cases. But somebody has to build this nation. And some of us have decided to stay back. We have to also support our loved ones who are traveling too, because they are jackpying for good reasons.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so that's me. I would never go speak against jackpying. My own is that go, do well, excel, and then come back. My own is when you now don't come back, there's a problem. But come back at some point and then add value. That for me is key, is critical. So let us stay on when they're gone. Because if we want to go to why they are going, we will not leave this conversation. Let me come to you, Toby.
Talkback tried to bring us back into the conversation. And I feel that a way in which we can avoid being scammed as Nigerians, still going back to my main point, is by going through the process ourselves. I mentioned earlier that we seem like once we pay somebody, that is it. But you realize that even for your masters, you can actually apply, get admission, do all that process by yourself. Jobs, go on LinkedIn, you will see the organizations that are recruiting. They will ask you, are you currently in Nigeria? Abi, are you currently in the UK? You say yes. You say no, you will still apply irrespective. You will find out by yourself that these processes that we seem to pay agents for are available on the website of these organizations, of these countries. So, I mean, when you get scammed in cases like that, I sometimes think about it and say, you could have read this thing, maybe put in an extra hours to apply for this thing, but you would have gotten it by yourself.
Let me take this call from Ade. He's calling from London. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, Morayo.
Morning.
Number one, I want to support Dr. who said it all. He's the nail on the head. If you are not a medical person, don't come to UK. If you are not coming for masters, don't come to UK. Go to Canada. Canada needs people. Then I want to back the last caller. He said it all, the last caller. I came to England in 1988. And I'm still here. Though I love my country, Nigeria, I come here yearly. But security, how much I spend on security is a lot of money. But here now, if I go anywhere, it's free. Like that man said, I got card. So I go to train, I have to pay for everything free. On my phone, I can check my medical history from 1988 today. Doctor will write me, this will write me. So that is the reason why we are still here. If not me, I love Nigeria. I love the noise around me. But here it's too quiet for people like us. Who are pensioners. So, but if I go there, I will spend a lot of money on security. Then I don't have the confidence to go to any clinic and say I want to get. I don't want them to give me injection. I've not had an injection in my life since I began. So Nigeria is a good country, but we don't have a good leader.
to get it
I mean, you're absolutely right that day. I mean, definitely, Nigeria is not where it's supposed to be. But some people have lived here also. And, you know, someone said, we live and looking behind our back. I hope every day I go in and pray for Father Lord, let me just go safely and come back home. So, because, yes, you're right, there is issues of insecurity everywhere, just like there is abroad. But, you know, we are here. I spoke to my sister yesterday in the UK, and she was telling me that Morayo, because she was going on a vacation, she now said, like, listen, anytime I go on a vacation to any country, and to Bimbo, was saying that it's like she can budget. Yeah. But last time she came to Nigeria, she spent 2 million naira. Like they are spending money. You're constantly, you're giving the security, you're giving this person money, you're coming with the issues. So it's like you are spending. You didn't come to Nigeria for vacation. You came to spend. So there are issues. So we know the issue is plenty. You know, but now let me come to you, Damola.
Okay, so I want to highlight the situation in the UK in particular, because it's not as rosy as people have painted it to be. And just like Toby said, it's not always, the grass is not always greener on the other side. I remember when I was doing my master's, I did not even see my neighbor for like 3-4 months. It was me, all man for himself. And that is the lifestyle of the average Nigerian living in the UK. They just want to wake up, go to their hustle place or office, and then come back. So if you are emigrating, ensure that you have a backup plan. Ensure that you have a support system that can take you in case plan A fails. At least plan B can actually help you stay afloat. And also, plan C is also necessary. I do not subscribe to you selling everything that you have here. What if it does not work over there? What do you then fall back to? So people who are immigrating need to also think it through properly. Do your research, check before you go.
And I like that point you make. Let me come to Muyiwa from Copenhagen. Thanks for calling.
They are calling from there today.
Obodo.
Good morning. You're live.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, my own opinion about the discussion this morning is about, I really have to agree with what someone said. The people that fought for these lawsuits in Nigeria and joined in Israel, they are not going today. Because I'm living in Copenhagen for over 20 years now. The people that fought for the enjoyment of the Copenhagen today, they are not going to. I think it's a process.
I can't hear you. It's really bad.
The point I said about people that fought for what he's enjoying in Copenhagen today are not there. So for some people had to stay and fight because it wasn't convenient. There are some other European countries where what we're thinking Nigeria is bad. They also had it worse, and they could have gone to the UK or gone somewhere else, but they stayed to fight for their country. But that's even. Let me talk about the importance in solution. You know, I don't want us to go.
Let me talk about solution. I think Damola gave us one solution. Those of you that are going, you need to have plan B, which I think is really critical. Because some of us, you don't know anybody in the UK. You just apply and you go. You get stuck and you don't know where to go. Some people have family. Not even, in fact, you're right. Some people you even know.
They
might not pick. In fact, let me give you one story. I shared this story. My husband too had that phase in his life where Japa was in it. So he and his brother plan quickly, you go. Because they were trying to blow, right? So they thought that once you enter UK like this, just go to Sony Studios, let them hear our music and we just blow. So all the people that promised, don't worry, I'll pick your airport. You know, we'll go to Sony Studios.
They will not pick your
call. They were calling. They don't pick up. The guy said, he was there, he didn't know anybody in the UK. He now had to call like family member, somebody that, he now had to call home, they had to find somebody that knows somebody, and then get him to sleep in somebody's house, at least until a few days before he came back to Nigeria. Like, what? So you can get stranded like that when you go to a country that you don't know anybody.
Even if your plan B is that you know someone,
it should be somebody that's close to you.
She said, have a plan C, because if your plan B does not pick you up, then your plan C can have enough options that would help you all through. But I want to talk about communities. If I'm going to go to any country, I would research I would find a community, I would find a group of people that help people. So my friend might not help me. My family member might not help me. It might be a stranger who already has gone through my pain, that already has a community for like that. I tell anybody that is relocating, find a redeemed church around you. Find a church because those churches know people that are always coming in that have faced problems. They will be able to help you. Then I went into real estate. If I did not join a community before going into real estate, among men, I have seen premium shege this year, but it would have been shege pro max, shege banza, shege everything together if I didn't have a community. So it is important that before you leave Nigeria, find out that community in UK, community in Ireland, community. It is community. I was in Glasgow, and my husband's friend's wife, Fumi, was calling that this lady needs to stay somewhere. They are evicting her from where she is. We need to find... That's because before she left Nigeria, they are not related. But Fumi is a helpful person. She lives in Glasgow, but she's always helping. She has a community for social workers. This woman wanted to become a social worker. She joined the community before leaving Nigeria. If not, all her family members have abandoned her.
You know some Nigerians don't like helping other Nigerians.
Yes.
So it's good. Those communities are great. But if I know Toby, they'll go, so she hasn't come to the UK.
Me, I will not be carrying you around.
You know, this is UK. Let her go and sort herself.
Communities can help you.
When I came, I sorted myself out. Because
nobody helped me.
Because the truth is that whether you like it or not, there is that phase. When you go to a new place, you either drive taxi, either throw paper, either do something, do those menial jobs before you kind of find your feet. I'll come to you, Toby. Let me take this call from Dennis. Thanks for calling. You're live.
All right. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Dennis.
Yeah. On the topic we are discussing, we cannot discuss this without actually looking at the root cause why our people are going to UK. The country today is bad. Let's call it in the state.
Go ahead.
The other to leave this country because there is nothing working in this nation. Where every human being likes a place where he can be comfortable. And that's why we are moving. It's only unfortunate that the situation in Nigeria today is affecting everyone. And not everybody have the financial capability to even move out of this country. If we have, everybody will have diverted this nation, Nigeria. Nothing is working in this nation. It's very unfortunate. Thank you.
I know that all the calls will be going to why they should go or why.
Yeah, because that's the easiest, lowest hanging fruit.
And
but that's not the conversation.
We're trying to solve problems for those that are going or are already there and are stranded. What do you do if you're already there? Like this woman that for 1 week has been eating bread and sardine because that's the only thing she can eat that she will not warm. That's the only thing that will not require heat to prepare. So we're talking about people that found themselves in that situation. What can they do? You know, because yes, the churches, even Nigerian churches abroad, are overwhelmed with the number of people that are coming and have to help.
Let me take this comment from engineer Ajibola Tijana. I always like hearing from him, but let me see what he says this today. He says, good morning, Morayo. This topic on Japa should have series. I agree with you. Migration is ordained by God, even in the scriptures, and there are good reasons to migrate as human beings. However, what people do is just to lament without making any meaningful contributions. They simply ask the question, what has Nigeria done for me? And they never ask themselves what they have done for Nigeria. Is Nigeria a human being? Without the people called Nigerians, would there be a Nigeria in the first instance? Everyone should endeavor to add value, and the result will be a Nigeria of our dreams. There are people in diaspora who are patriotic, and despite being in diaspora, they still exercise patriotism. They don't curse Nigeria or abuse Nigeria. They rather contribute intelligently. Okay, as I said, we don't want to open that can of worms because the issue of why we are living is a full-day topic that would not end. But let me come to you, Toby. Let's go into how do we help those Nigerians who are abroad. Tope has given us a community. You have said plan A, plan B, plan C. Any ideas from you?
Yes, so extending from what Tope said, sometimes we feel like once the person is a black person, the person is likely to help us. But there are other races also in those countries. But because our judgment has been clouded based on the fact that, this one would not even understand what I'm saying. We just overlook them. But I think that there are also people like that. Look away from your prejudices. So, for example, they may have a different sexual orientation, but you know what you're looking for. They're not entirely bad because of some things that they currently do. You know what you're going for. So please interact with other people outside the black race that you have within your
They're gonna report you.
You know that there's for someone I know that relocated about 4
legal.
months ago, Indian, because, and the guy was the only one that, because they were looking for, they're in Canada right now. Thankfully, they've been able to rent a house with the guy, but they couldn't get anybody to rent them a house because everybody was asking them for guarantee that you will be able to pay. So you must have work, and they just landed. So they were staying at an Airbnb, which is very expensive. They couldn't sustain it, but they were able to get someone, an Indian man who said that, I can totally understand everybody. Because when they got to the man said, you didn't fill this part of the form. That was how the guy just said, I beg. I've been feeling, everybody, I don't have a job yet. I can't get a job because I don't have an accommodation that is permanent. And nobody's giving me house because I don't have a job. Like, help me out. Like, he vented, and thankfully, the person was an Indian that was able to say that my mom also came with us as children, as a single mother, and she went through this. Don't worry, I will get her to waive this for you. So sometime, and they were able to get an apartment. Now they are getting things a bit together.
So there are those good stories we hear. You know, I know somebody also, they went for a vacation. Their child fell sick, and they were in the hospital, and then they found out that this child had a serious condition that was going to cost millions of dollars. And they're thinking, where am I going to? But, you know, they found compassion by, I think, somebody that got one international organization that got somebody that they paid the money and now did their papers for them. These are stories that we hope that even though I struggle, wiggle my savings to US, America, I'll find, you know, when you pray.
But that's an exception.
When you are backed up with some prayers from Nigeria,
you'll be going with confidence.
When Daddy Joe is following you with some prayers, as you enter like this, you might find mercy. At the JFK,
Airport,
somebody will take you and say, nice, you like your hair. Let me find the papers for you. Before you know, these things happen.
We cannot plan with that.
So you can't plan with it. I agree with you. You can't plan with that. But these things happen. That's why people feel confident. But you know what? Don't worry. Let me just get there first. I will sort myself out. Let me somehow, you know, Holy Ghost fire will help me. Anyway, we have to wrap up. We've run out of time. But I think the real crux of this conversation is that there are reasons why Nigerians leave. As I said, we've discussed it several times, but we can't stop discussing it. I will continue to discuss it because it's a reminder to why we must fix Nigeria and also support government and help government to fix Nigeria and ensure that we get the right people to fix Nigeria. That's one hand. Then the hand of those who are emigrating legally but need support. Those ones, Nigerians abroad, find communities to help you. Those who are also going illegally, somehow God will help you. And there are those who are victims of racketeering, who Nigerians are the ones actually inflicting this pain on themselves. These are the ones this show was about today. You must support Nigerians. The fact that they are alive in the country, they need help and support. And please, if you're a Nigerian in a community, please reach out to Nigerians who are there stranded and help them to settle in. That's all we can take on today's show. We'll see you on Monday. Bye for now. Tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow on Your View Saturday. Please, I'm sorry. Saturday, Your View, 9 a.m. See you. Have a great weekend.